The consumption lounge that's behind us, I mean, has been a big draw. I've seen people coming and going and taking pictures. How is that going to fit into the mix, and how important is that to the experience of Planet 13 moving forward?
Hey everyone, welcome to our latest TDR Trade to Black podcast. We are in Las Vegas, Nevada, home to the largest cannabis dispensary in the world here at Planet 13. Good to see you, Anthony Varrell. We're welcoming in the CEO of Planet 13, Larry Scheffler, first time to the podcast. Good to have you on. How are things?
Fantastic. First of all, co-CEO. Don't want to take anything away from my partner, Bob Grossbeck. But thank you anyway. No, we're happy to be here. We're excited. This is kind of our little Disneyland that we've created here, and we're having fun doing it.
Disneyland for adults, that's for sure.
That's right.
How many square feet is this place?
112,000 square feet.
112,000. So talk me through, where did the whole vision of this, bringing this together, and how long has this place been open now for?
We opened November of 2018.
Yeah.
This actually originally was a Coors distributing plant that fed all the beer to the hotel. So the whole thing was a giant cooler built in the 60s.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we built our first dispensary southwest of the Raider Stadium, 2,500 square feet. Once Rick started, we did 18 million the first 10 months.
Wow.
But we have 43 people that we competed against, competitors. We said, why are we doing that with only 2.5 million people? Why don't we get up at the Strip?
Right.
You can't be on the Strip. You can't be in the gaming corridor.
Gotcha.
Normally a mile either side of the Strip.
You can't be in the gaming corridor?
No, you cannot.
Why is it just a law?
It's a state law with the Gaming Commission.
Gotcha.
They don't want anything with the feds coming down on the
Makes sense.
on the gamers. So Bob and I both. I was on city council. He was mayor in Henderson, so we knew zoning. So we found out this was a donut hole that they zoned around for the Gaming Commission.
Seriously.
Okay.
We then went to every building and knocked on it to find out where we could find somebody to talk them into moving out, or we could move in.
Right.
This guy was moving out that was here, and we talked to the landlord, and we started out with 25,000 square feet. That would be plenty. So what am I do with the rest of the building? Who wants to be next to cannabis? So we understood it all. We finally negotiated down and got it for 63 cents a square foot per month.
63 cents.
Yeah. So
Wow.
a great
Times
deal.
have changed.
Yeah, a lot's changed. So, and again, then as we kept going, our ideas kept going. We got to fill this place up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So if you're not going to be on the Strip, build a destination, 112,000 square feet. What do you think is the biggest response that you get from? Do you get a lot of locals here? How much percentage do you think even tourists?
we
that
get
come
about
here
86% is tourists and 14% is locals.
Gotcha.
But everybody wants to be entertained, right? In
course.
Vegas especially, they do.
Yeah.
It's our job to entertain them. So we've been here our entire life, Bob and I, both over 50 years each. And this is all we know. We thought, there's nothing new. People want to be entertained. We thought it'd be a normal thing.
Yeah.
So we decided to entertain people. And
You talk about filling this place up, and I mean, I think you've done a beautiful job. I've seen it grow myself over the years coming to Las Vegas. The consumption lounge that's behind us, I mean, has been a big draw. I've seen people coming and going and taking pictures. How is that going to fit into the mix, and how important is that to the experience of Planet 13 moving forward?
well, everything we do has got to be entertainment, and we don't want it to get old and stale that people have been here a few times.
Yeah.
So we're constantly adding on, and just talking about that, in April we will open up a 3,000 square foot consumption lounge.
Okay.
That again is over the top. Your sensory experiences will be unbelievable inside of that, just farther down the hallway.
Okay.
So this hall, this end of the hallway here, that comes down, and we go another 100 feet. Then there'll be entrance on the other end. Just past the consumption lounge, we have by Super Bowl a 14,000 square foot cannabis museum opens, interactive,
Okay.
2-story. That again will be over the top. This
Yeah.
has never been done anywhere in the world.
Wow.
So I think it's safe to say that this is an immersive experience.
Absolutely.
Planet 13. This isn't just cannabis retail. This is truly an immersive
It's where the industry
experience.
should be built upon, right?
Yeah, and I mean, so some people look at Planet 13 as a single state operator. I mean, with your large presence in Nevada. I mean, I obviously know you're coming to my home state, Florida, soon. With the superstore model, I mean, what's the criteria to bring that superstore model to the state? Is it heavily predicated on tourism and certain things that need to check the boxes before you make that decision?
Right, and there'll probably only be 6 to 10 superstores in the United States. It's
Okay.
going to be very select, but Florida is a prime location. We already, hopefully it goes rec in November.
Yeah.
If it does, we've already selected our location on the water in Miami for our first superstore.
Okay.
It'll be about 40,000 square feet, and actually the landlords that owned it searched us out, came to meet with us here and asked if we would be the anchor, interested in the anchor at their site.
Okay.
They did?
Which is,
Wow.
which is pretty impressive for
40,000
us.
square feet in Miami. I'm pretty sure I know where about that's going to be within the area, but I'll wait and see. How's that acquisition coming with Vitacan? I know that it was announced that it could close by March. I'm assuming that's on pace.
We're all very happy, both parties. Everything's been signed. We're waiting for government approval. And the main thing is we now have 2 licenses since we signed the agreement with Vitacan. So one has to be sold according to the OMMU out of Florida, which we're in the process of doing. So we then think government approval will be done in January sometime, and we'll be merged together. And,
And I know coming here over the years, I mean, I've seen a lot of brands in your store. A lot of brands from the West Coast find their way into Nevada. In Florida, we've seen a trend of premium brands coming in, and they've been awarded as far as sales go and their market share. I mean, is that going to be part of the strategy coming into the state of Florida, bringing these prominent brands?
It's a little bit different in Florida, of course, because we have to vertically integrate.
Yeah.
So you can't do as much as you can here versus California.
Yeah.
But we're going to bring some of our major strains, our premium strains that we've become so famous for with the Planet 13. That will be available down there in Florida. And we'll start naming them all Planet 13. We'll start with 8 at a time through a series of time. And do a little bit more of gingerbread and design inside and so on. But the owners and the people that Vitacan, we just couldn't be happier with them.
That's good.
And it's so hard to find someone like that. We've looked for 3 years.
Finding a clean asset in the cannabis space is tough.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's 26 locations in Florida?
26 locations in a giant grow. They currently produce about 4,000 pounds a month they harvest. They've got 250,000 square feet built out from a greenhouse facility that the owner owned. They had 1 million square feet of greenhouses, and 250 has already been turned into cannabis growing.
Okay, so you have more room to incrementally grow.
Absolutely, and it sits on 178 acres besides.
Okay.
I find it interesting. Florida, very competitive state, could be the largest cannabis market in the world, but you have a landlord from Miami that sourced you out, and if I can think of anything when you mention that, it's the growth of the industry. Like, how long have you been in this space, and what's this say about the industry as a whole moving forward, that you've got landlords, premium property, oceanfront property, 40,000 square feet that you're potentially going to be opening up in the near-term future? What's that say about the industry?
I think they were impressed with what we did here and the amount of people that draws. And I think
I'm
it
just
helps
saying
the
that
rest
this
of their property.
this is impressive here.
Yeah.
But look at how much cannabis in a lot of ways is becoming more and more acceptable, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's changing everywhere. Every year, as we've seen. You guys have seen, I know, as much as me. Just seen in all the different states. It was even when we have the only bar in the United States in a cannabis establishment. You can't mix alcohol and liquor. We're telling the people, our county commissioners, that we want to put a bar in. Oh, you can't do that, right? You can go across the street and have a drink and come here and get some cannabis and smoke, but don't do it in the same room. It's just too dangerous. You don't understand. So we convinced them that this is a entertainment complex, and we put suite numbers, different P.O. boxes on every suite.
Okay.
That's a different address. The other one's different address. One LLC owns the bar. Another LLC owns the other bar. We own both, of course. We said, is there something else you need now? Begrudgingly, they said, no, okay, that was 3 years ago, right? Now, we have not had a problem in 3 years. And now it's all of a sudden, okay, I'm feeling more comfortable now. So it's just a little step at a time, a little bite of the apple at a time, and that's what we have to do.
Proof of concept. What you were saying off the top, 3 years, they understand what you're saying all along now, right?
Absolutely.
So what's this consumption lounge? If you were to walk in, kind of like theater of the mind, what will this look like when you walk into a place that is 3,000 square feet? What can people experience when they're coming?
It's hard to explain. We shared the picture a little bit. So in the hallway, there's an old English phone booth. You walk in the phone booth, and that's a secret door that lets you into the consumption lounge to start out. Then inside, it's almost like back to the 60s. It is color and sensual overload over the top, all over the place. We have a bar. You can sit down like a regular bar and order your bong, rent a bong. You have to do single serve, though. You can't buy in the dispensary.
Okay.
Take it in and smoke it. You can't even take it in. So we have to have lockers. You can store it in the locker by state law.
Yeah.
It's like if you went to a liquor store and bought a six-pack, I want to go to the bar next door and bring my own beer. But you can't do that.
Well, hopefully
Right.
next year when we're back, we'll be doing the podcast in the consumption lounge versus out here. That'd be great.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, I know that you guys are opening. You have the grand opening of Illinois next week.
Monday.
Monday?
Correct. Yeah, on the 4th.
Congratulations on that. I mean, how does Illinois play in to the overall strategy? I mean, and we know that's a powerful adult use market. Is that one that you're looking to go into and start to, I guess, broaden out in that space?
We're going to use this first and see. We're very happy with the location. We
Yeah.
looked downtown for a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah.
Disaster to me. Parking, cost, all the competitors down there. Here we are 30 miles from Milwaukee. Right?
Yeah.
We're the only first dispensary coming across.
Okay.
We're on a cloverleaf. We've got the Super Walmart and a casino and 6 hotels in the circle that we're in.
Okay.
We're 6 minutes from Six Flags. It doesn't get any better
Yeah.
to us
So
than
it's
where
prime.
we're at. We have one competitor in a tiny little place.
Okay.
Nice enough, but only allowing 2 dispensaries in all of Waukegan. And to the north, to the border, dispensaries are outlawed. So
Yeah.
we think we'll be, in 1 year, we'll be in the top three someplace. Most
Why do you believe
revenue
that?
generating.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why do you believe that?
Just on what we picked and what we see for the strategy and the people coming across from
Yeah.
Milwaukee down, where it's illegal. Well, we can also look at, and they're very successful too, in Mundelein.
Okay.
They're 7 miles farther south, 7 miles west off the freeway. They're the #1 dispensary in Illinois.
Yeah. One
And
thing's
we're
for
14
sure.
miles closer.
We always talk about branding. Like when I think of branding, it's like your brand, your name is at the forefront. People understand what it is, what it represents. In a lot of ways, because you built this destination and in the city that you're located, it's really enhanced obviously the brand recognition and brand awareness of what this, company name stands for. You talked a lot about people coming here for a destination and experience. Everybody's got to find their own little lane when they're competing in this space. Is that the strategy? And do you think that's what's going to excel you to continue to grow and grow and grow as you find, your own little lane within this entire industry?
Well, I think so. I can't believe someone, though, hasn't tried to duplicate what we're doing. First of all, I don't know why they haven't. But we have our own theory. Every city, and not just here, and not as much maybe, people still want to be entertained.
Yeah.
Even in Chicago, even in Florida, they want to be entertained, whether it's graphics, whether it's colors, whatever it is. That's kind of our philosophy that we're going to kind of go with. We think we're the most successful at it. And
Key entertainment markets, right?
yeah,
It's interesting.
absolutely.
Last thing I want to touch on was what's your thoughts of all this HHS recommendation with the DEA about rescheduling? Have you heard much? You have conversations with some of your network, and a lot of optimism for the industry as we've been here at MJ BizCon this week, and a lot of people feeling that we will get something announced in 2024. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that, and then I've heard 2 sides says great from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3, but then I've heard a few other people talk that if it goes into Schedule 3, does that involve still more of the pharmacies that are going to try to pull it away from the dispensaries that are
Yeah.
going on? Is
Yeah.
there some other rules in there we got to watch out for that they're sliding in where they're going from 1 to 3 and we're not realizing what's going on? So I'm cautiously optimistic, but hopefully it'll be okay.
Do you want rescheduling to happen?
Oh, we will. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And safe banking.
Yeah.
Yes. I think
As much as anything.
Schedule 3 sets up safe banking
That'd be
to
great.
get passed. I think Schedule 3 will drop first,
Right.
and then you see safe accelerate
Yeah.
and get passed, which I'm assuming would be a tremendous beneficiary to your bottom line.
Well, then one of those two, and some people said even safe banking could do it. If we can get rid of 280E,
Yeah.
that punishing 21 to 23% tax that everybody's paying, and that's normally what a regular company in the world makes is
Yeah.
15 to 25%, and we're paying that as a penalty to the federal government.
It's crazy.
So what's next? I'm assuming once the consumption lounge is complete, I mean, I almost am thinking about this as like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, to be honest. It's with the experience and everything that you've built out. I mean, after that's complete, is it more so this is done, focusing
No,
on
we have
ancillary?
another 18,000 square feet that we have ideas for. We
Okay.
won't release that
Yeah.
right now, but we're planning on a lot more for the additional last 18,000 square feet.
Okay.
We almost ran out of parking. We did, even though most of our customers are from Uber and Lyft and so on, so
Yeah.
we don't really need them here. But for the county regulations,
Yeah.
you have so many square feet to get a parking. So we just a year and a half ago signed a lease with the Nevada Department of Transportation for
Yeah.
6 more acres behind us, giving us 600 more parking spaces.
Okay.
So now we have 800 on site. So
Yeah.
I was going to say, pretty soon you're going to need a taxi line outside. Like
I know.
The,
Yeah.
like
and we
the
just
hotels.
had last year we had Snoop Dogg as our first concert, kind
Yeah.
of a little test.
That's
So
awesome.
we'll have some concerts more as we acquire that land. We got the parking, we got the
Okay.
space. That's even more going on that we'll be doing. Just again, bring more people here.
Very,
and
very
other
symbolic that this used to be a alcohol distribution site, and now it's basically become the largest cannabis immersive experience.
Yeah.
Around.
I think what's important too is that this conference, MJ BizCon, that's happening this week, I think there was less than 1,000 people its first year. Now they're getting over 250,000 people. And when this week of this conference comes in, if they're not over at the Las Vegas Convention Center or at the Cosmo or the Wynn, they're all here, and it was packed here yesterday. Like, how much does this conference bring attention to the industry? Because people that are coming here from all sorts of the country, probably telling their friends, and like when they come to Vegas later on in the year, does that have kind of a domino effect of business that you're creating based off the conference?
Well, it does, and I think they're looking at what we did to use in smaller portions in their state. We get
Yeah.
a lot of people come and say, I'd like to do something like this, not to this extent.
I bet.
But they're saying, this is the way it should be done.
Yeah.
Even our county commissioners were first sketchy at first and didn't want to do certain things. We finally talked to them, come over, and they said, I had no idea.
Yeah.
This is our gold standard.
Yeah.
They now set up tours for the county commission, new people that come on board to come on a tour to see how it should be done. Because they think we've done it really the right way.
So speaking of
everything.
MJ Biz, speaking of F1, the Super Bowl, this is becoming a very big tourist hub for the
Wow.
United
Never
States,
thought
even
of
more
that.
than it's been. How important is budtender education as it relates to the dispensary? Because I'm assuming a lot of these consumers that are coming in, they're not very sophisticated. There might be first-time purchasers. How much of an emphasis on budtender education is it to the Planet 13 model?
It's very big for us. We have 2 full-time trainers. We train 5 days a week.
Okay.
We trained so much that I believe about 4 years ago, maybe it was 5, they had an International Budtender Awards at Mandalay Bay at
Okay.
a convention. 7,000 people applied. We took first place and runner-up.
Okay.
So we get accolades all the time on the knowledge our budtenders know. Even other products come in. The people that sell us the products, they have to come during the classes, teach their product to our people, our
Okay.
budtenders. So it's an ongoing process, never stopping.
Sounds like podcast summertime by the pool at Mandalay Bay with you guys, and then we come back for the consumption lounge in a year. How's that sound?
Fantastic.
I got to ask
you guys.
before we part ways here, what's your background? How'd you get into this space?
I left Minnesota out of high school up by Fargo, North Dakota.
Yeah.
Joined the Air Force, loaded bombs for 4 years. And that's the last time I smoked, loading bombs like an idiot, right?
Yeah.
And then I started a printing company in 1978. Had that 45 years, sold it 3 times. Had about 250 employees, became the largest in the state. And that's when my partner that we served on the city council with heard about this. He was an attorney. He said, they're legalizing marijuana. This is the last of the sins going legal. We got to get in.
Yeah.
It was medical, but we had more guts than brains.
How many years ago was that?
That was 2014 when we applied.
What have you seen in the last 10 years as far as growth in this industry? As much as there's been a lot of stalling from a legislation standpoint, this industry is moving at such a rapid pace.
It is. We're not as bad as some states, but there's so much competition still that went on. Now you're seeing some of the fallbacks. We've got 2 in receivership alone in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And so if there weren't good business people, but they had the idea, again, they usually falter and they don't quite make it, as in, I guess, many businesses. But it changed tremendously from when we started. Oh, it just unbelievable.
This has been awesome. I love you guys hosted us here this week and set up this podcast studio for us. But this has been incredible. We hope to obviously come back next year, maybe in the summertime, do some more stuff. A great experience, right?
It's been awesome.
You're always welcome. Thanks for you guys coming over to see our place again.
Thank you for giving us
appreciate
time.
You got to watch the as we keep improving every year what we're doing.
Like I said, I mean, I've been coming since 2017. So, I mean, or 2018, and I've just been seeing it grow and grow and grow. And I look forward to coming back and seeing the consumption lounge.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Larry Scheffler, co-CEO of Planet 13, which trades on the CSC under the ticker symbol PLTH. Appreciate it.
You bet.
Thank you, sir.
Very much.
Hey everyone, so what'd you think of the video? Leave your comments below and let us know your feedback. We'd love to hear from you. As usual, subscribe to our channel by clicking on the link here. If you want to see more videos like this, then click on the link here and click on that bell for all notifications. Because most importantly, we want to know your feedback because we wouldn't be here without you. Thanks for watching, everyone.